everybody, and welcome to another episode of Intuitive Insights. Today, my guest is Dr. Ann Williamson, teacher, mentor, and life coach. Welcome, Dr. Ann. How are you?
Dr. Yolanda, I am just perfect in every way. Thank you, God. So I'm good. Thank you for asking.
So let's talk about your education. You have extensive education.
Oh my gosh, I do. And for one person who claims that she didn't like to go to school, she kept going to school and going to school and going to school, and I'm still going to school. My education, I have 2 doctorates. I have one in education administration, and then the other one I have in holistic life ministries or counseling. And I attended the University of Metaphysics, where I got a lot of my metaphysical training from. And my other doctorate, I studied out at University of Illinois, Chicago, where I'm from, and finished up with Columbia State University to attain my doctorate in educational administration.
Wow.
And that's not counting all the other stuff on the other end, you know.
I know. Speaking of 5 degrees here, yes, I do know. I've just accepted the fact that I'm always going to be a student. I'm a student of life. It's never going to end. So I just change the way I do it. Now I get to reach out to wonderful people like you, and I get to learn from what you're doing. So what are you doing now? You're mentoring students. I saw your lovely website. Tell me about that.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So it's new, but it's not new. I've been in education for probably longer than you've been alive. And she says, oh gosh, okay. But my coaching, let's start with the coaching. The coaching I started a little over 23 years ago. And I was teaching at the same time. Well, teaching is still mentoring. Teaching is mentoring. And you can't have one without the other. So therefore, in the last year or 2, I decided that I wanted to concentrate on students that needed that extra mentoring, as you would call it, or the extra coaching, so that they can move through school with a little bit more, as we would say metaphysically, with a lot of more ease and grace, so that they can be more successful, not only in their endeavors in school, but to be more successful in their life totally.
Okay. So how do you teach them that? How does that happen? I can understand why, but yeah, how do you teach children about metaphysics?
Well, it's not like, students, we're going to have a class in metaphysics today. It's not like we're going to say that, but you find other ways of doing this. One way that in my personal classroom, every morning we start out with affirmations.
Wonderful.
Every morning we start out with affirmations. I am young. I am gifted. I am talented. I am smart. I am a winner. That's what they say every morning. Now, whether they believe it or not, it is at least sinking into their subconsciousness, into their consciousness, so that it can begin to grow and to just fester within themselves instead of, oh, I'm bad, oh, I don't know anything. No, we start out the morning with this. And then after they say, I am, and they don't know the powerful meaning with the I am like you and I do, you know. Yeah, we know the I am. It depends on what's on the other side of the I am, you know. And then we say, you are. You are young, you are gifted, you are talented, you are smart, you are a winner. And then we go to the next one, we, being all encompassing, that we are young, we are gifted, we are talented, we are smart, we are winners. So we get from the I am to the you are, recognizing the you, recognizing the God in you that they don't know that they're actually doing. And then they encompass that we are all in this together.
Yes. And so for those people that don't or have not quite reached this level of understanding, the words I am come from your God self. Whatever you put with I am is what you become. It's what you think. So you're giving children at a very young age a very, very powerful metaphysical tool. And that makes me really happy. So how do they feel about it?
Well, this is the this is the great thing about it. If we miss doing it in the morning, if for whatever reason life comes into the classroom and we do not get a chance to do this, we didn't do our affirmations this morning. Can we do it now? They'll come up to me, we didn't do it. Or we didn't do it yesterday, we got to do it today. So it has become ingrained that they kind of miss it when they don't do it.
Yes. Yes. That is beautiful. Oh my goodness gracious. And that's some of the tools that they'll have for the rest of their life. They're never going to not do that.
I would like to think this, we're talking about 9, 10, 11-year-old children. Mm-hmm. And I would like to see this continue throughout their lifetime. And if they do put it down for a minute, maybe when they're adults, maybe they can go back, something might trigger that within their consciousness and say, I remember that crazy teacher had us doing this every morning, and that was something different. And then after we do our affirmations, I kind of tell them, I say, you know what, there's nothing that each and every one of you cannot do. I say, you are not dummy, quote unquote. You are not, you have the capacity, the capabilities of doing whatever it is that you want to. However, it is something that you have to want. And you need to just feel this, because some of those students may never have had that opportunity to be entrenched in a metaphysical affirmation type of beginning in the morning. Or I should say it like this, a positive affirmation. They may have been indulged in negative affirmations, mm-hmm. and maybe that's the household that they're coming from, where students have a beat down before they come to school, or they have a beat down when they leave school, because they're going from a negative situation into a more positive situation, and then they have to go back to a negative situation.
Mm-hmm. But that's benevolence always wins. And now that you've put this in their cellular memory, life does happen. They might forget it for a while, but I can assure you they'll go back to it. They're going to want to remember that time when was the last time you felt really good? When was the last time you felt really powerful? They will recall upon that that's inside of them now. That's just beautiful. So you're in the classroom. Are you mentoring, like your website? People can hire you to mentor?
Yes, they can. And the whole reason behind the website, the Joyful Student, Student Life Coach, is about helping students who have been bullied.
Ah, okay.
And usually those students who have been bullied come away with low self-esteem, mm-hmm. And so therefore, they may not be capable of standing up for themselves. And they feel that they are, as we would say, not enough or worthless.
Yeah.
And everybody is enough. You know, you have that enough built within your DNA, but sometimes we lose our contact with our inner self, you know, and our inner self, our inner core, which is to me God within, we forget that God is with us all the time and that we can do all things because God is always present, is our interpresence. And I think metaphysically speaking, this is why the joy for certain coaches, because coaches and mentors are there to, and practitioners are there to make sure that you do not lose that connection with the God within, whatever name you call it, whether you call it coaching, whether you are calling it mentoring, whether you are teaching or pastoring or whatever those names that you call yourself, those are the things, those names, you're doing basically the same thing. You're helping people to stay connected to their inner presence.
That's wonderful. So if someone were to reach out to you on your website, is this a one-on-one interaction? Do you do distance? How does that happen?
It happens in a couple of different ways. I can do one-on-one, face-to-face, in person if you're in the area, or we can do Zoom like we're doing now. Hi. Or telephone conversations. There's just so many different technologies that are out there that are available. When I first started, usually it was just a telephone conversation, doing conference calls like that. But now with the different avenues of Zoominars and things like that, it could be open up for different ways of communicating with a potential or client.
And how many sessions would a person or young person need to have with you before they start to, you know, feel okay or you know, no longer need your help?
I would say, you know, the old saying is, you know, it takes 21 meetings or something or contacts in order to change a habit. So, you know, definitely there's some extraordinary cases where you can begin to see change within one meeting and things like that. But I would say, give me 3 months, and then you will see a gradual change.
Over a weekly period, once a week, twice a week?
I would say once a week. Okay. So that would be at least 12 sessions. And
what age ranges do you serve?
I'm going to say I serve from 9 years old all the way up to the teens.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And Zoom, I think, is a wonderful format to do that because you can record it and they can always go back and listen to it again and again.
Absolutely. You know, tapes can live on forever. And then, you know, when they get to a certain age and say, oh my gosh, was I that little scared child? Was I ever like that? You know, and they can see the progress. Yeah. They can see progress because when we talk to one another, there's so much that goes on into a conversation that you really don't remember everything. Yes. So if there is a recording, then they can go back and say, okay, what did she say? She was talking so much and I didn't get everything. What did she tell me to do? So those are some of the things. Yes.
That is wonderful. And how else do you spend your time? Are you officiating now? Are you doing weddings now?
I'm not doing any weddings. Okay. You know what? Some people are scared, even casually, I would say, oh, let me just hold your hand. No. Because if they think if I hold their hands together, you know, two partners or something, that's automatically I'm going to say, I'll go into, oh, today we are joined together. like, no. So I can't even jokingly say that because they'll think, oh no, she's binding us for forever. But no, I don't do the weddings, but what I'm in the process of working toward, and I'm not sure if you are familiar with the Madonna Ministries. Are you familiar with the Madonna Ministries?
Not. Educate me.
Madonna Ministries were started, I want to say about 40 years ago, maybe, or more. And they have various ministries that are connected. But what attracted me to this is that they have higher levels. And one of them, what really attracted me, to be a bishop, in a metaphysical bishop. And I don't know what that looks like. And I don't know what my duty is, and it's not being Pentecostal, it's not being Baptist, but I just feel drawn to be some type of metaphysical bishop.
Yeah.
And I know that's a higher calling. And so I know I would be definitely working in the educational sector of that particular ministry, and not necessarily working with children, but extending the ministry and the educational part to adults as well.
Okay. Did you have like a spiritual awakening that kind of, I know it's the educational thing, but did you have a moment of awakening?
What, for the Madonna Ministries?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I think it was just seeing a friend of mine that lives here in Arizona become a bishop. And I said, and I talked to her on, this has been like work in process for about 2 years now. And, and I put it off, and then I went back again, and then the discussions popped up again this year. And I think I'm going to just move forward. Does that mean it changes my life? Yes, it definitely, because I'm not going to say I will be held to a high, I will. I will be held to a higher standard. I personally would have to hold myself more accountable to my work as a ministry, in the ministry, as a minister, as a practitioner. And then if I say, I'm bishop, okay, so bishop, what does that mean? So that means I would have to go out and do more talking. That would mean I would have to go out and do more teaching. That would mean I would be helping more people.
Mm-hmm. And that's something you're drawn to? Would that be your joy?
I think so. It would be part of my joy. Yes, definitely part of my joy, because joy is my brand, and everything that I do and everything that's out there, it has joy or joyous connected to it. So, as I say, people are happy to see you come into a room, and they're happy to see you leave. So, but joy, that would bring me joy. And definitely, I'm looking at the Bishop of Joy, and I don't even know what that is. That came to me like last week, the Bishop of Joy.
Oh,
and
wow.
That is like, wow. Like you said, wow.
Yeah, that's a path for you to trailblaze. And there aren't any blueprints, I just woke up one morning and thought, I'd like to talk to some more people out there,
Right.
I graduated, and I was like, well, what do I do now? I'm like, seriously, what do I do now? I don't want to stop learning, but I can't spend the next 10 years with my heads in books, So I wanted to find out what other practitioners were doing and how they're using their unique gifts and how they're using that energy.
Absolutely. And it's been 20 years now since I graduated from University of Metaphysics.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like like you said, do I keep studying? And which I am always studying with them. I have another degree that's hanging out there that needs to be completed. And and I eventually I'll get it completed. But it's like, it's all about service and moving forward and helping others. And I think that's the main thing, that why we are in this thing called a ministry, is to help others. Definitely. And to move forward and upward, because the upward is to elevate not only yourself but others, so that they can just be so connected to God. It goes back to remembering who you are and whose you are,
and the divine part. When I had my spiritual awakening, the word divine scared me. I had to figure out why that word was frightening. Oh, I don't want to be divine. People will think that I'm crazy. I don't want that. And then my guide explained it in a very simple way. You are all divine because you're like a divining rod. Consider yourself like a magnet, and that's divine. That's all it is. There's no religious connotations. There is no Jesus representations. It's a simple fact. You're all divine. And whatever you choose to focus on is what you're going to get. That's it.
And you have chosen to, I will put another word with you, is connection.
Yes.
Divine connection. Mm-hmm. Divine connection, not only with God, but the divine connection that you seek in others. And those who feel that connection will be drawn to you. Mm-hmm. And so therefore, that goal of learning from one another, you're going to learn from one another, whether it's the good, the bad, the ugly, but you will be drawn to those people in those perfect places of timing and stuff. So there you go.
What I do as a QHHT practitioner, I had a client last week, and they come to me with a list of problems. I call myself a librarian. They come to me with a list of problems. We sit and we discuss it. I put them in a trance, and I go to help retrieve that information for them. And what I learned last week with a young woman said that she felt that there was dark entities around her. And she would go to sleep, and she would see these shadow people and horns, and it was very terrifying for her. And when she went into trance, and I asked her higher self, what is this about? And her higher self said very eloquently, it is a manifestation of her own frustration. It was just a way to get her to pay attention to the spirit world. How liberating was that?
I know.
And liberating.
I know.
So,
wow. Yeah. That was an aha. That
yes.
was for not only her, but maybe an aha for you too.
Definitely, because I didn't know how to, I don't have any opinions on that. I haven't had that experience. So I don't know what the answer is going to be, What's that going to translate into? So I was happy with the answer, and she was too. I record all their sessions so they can go back and listen to it, because from that trance state, it's like a dream. As soon as you wake up, it just starts to fade. That little pixelization starts to fade.
Absolutely. Yes, indeed.
So we are almost out of time. Do you have any messages for your potential students out there who may need you? How can we reach you, first of all?
Well, first of all, you can go to my website, thejoyfulstudentlifecoach.com. Okay. And all of the information, maybe not as metaphysically as we have spoken today, is on that website. And they will, there are wonderful links to things that they can just tap into and send for more information. Discovery hour, where, they will be given the discovery hour is really finding out about them and what needs to be worked upon. So it's like a questionnaire, an in-depth questionnaire. Also on my website, you will find what is called the Joyful Safety Network. That is something very brand new, where it's helping, I'm looking into being a safety counselor, helping women and children, particularly women and children, to be safe, meaning that there are not weapons, but how to be safe in their own space. Children need to be safe going to school, coming back to school, going to the store, in the malls, wherever they need to do. And there is a game night where we have these conversations, intimate conversations about safety, all kinds of safety. So all of that information is on my website.
And you're also on Facebook. Can people friend you on Facebook?
I am also on Facebook as well.
Okay, that's awesome. Well, thank you again, Dr. Ann. I'm so happy to have this interaction with you.
Well, thank you, Dr. Yolanda. It was wonderful to see your smiling face and all of these wonderful in-depth questions. And I look forward to hearing this. I'm going to say, oh my goodness, what did I do? All right. It's all good. It's all God, right?
Great. You put your heart out there.
Yeah.
All right. Hang on just a quick second.